It's not too late to pick this one up. This is La Playa by Carner Barcelona. Now, of course, this is a Spanish brand. I love this brand so much. I have so many fragrances. I have acquired so many throughout the years. I purchased El Born. I have Sweet William, Sal y Limon. I have, my God, the list, Super Moon. The list goes on and on. Here we have a brand new release, and in today's Cef Le Bon contributor video, I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on La Playa, which is one of the most incredible summer perfumes. If you like citrus and coconut and pistachio, this is one that you don't want to miss, right? If you feel as though this is in alignment with your personal taste, if you like these type of notes, I'm going to be telling you all about this fragrance, and I'm also going to let you in on a very special giveaway opportunity in collaboration with Cef Le Bon. But of course, before I dive into the review and I give you my thoughts on this brand new fragrance, I do want to start the video off first by saying that if you're a fan of fragrance-related content, and of course, if you love smelling your best, hit subscribe, please. Hit the bell so you can be notified whenever I do publish these daily videos. And also, please give this video a thumbs up for the algorithm. It would truly mean a lot to me. So here we have La Playa, and of course, with a name like La Playa, the expectation is that it's going to smell like the beach. And you're thinking to yourself, well, what does the beach smell like? Is this going to be aquatic? Is it going to be oceanic? Am I going to get ambroxan? Am I going to get coconut? Is it going to smell like suntan lotion or sunblock or whatever the case may be? So I think these are all valid thoughts and concerns, and I'm going to try to break it down for you as best as I can. But you do have the opportunity to take home a full-sized bottle. I think that's incredibly exciting. There are so many giveaways conducted via collaboration with Cef Le Bon, and I'm just very blessed to have the opportunity to be able to give away so many bottles. So all you have to do to participate in the giveaway is just go to ceflebon.com. I'm going to link it down below in the description box. It's going to be the very first link. After you've read through the article and have become a registered reader, the only thing you have to do is drop a thoughtful comment on the article. It's really simple. Just make sure to check back on over to ceflebon.com on the date that is mentioned in the article, because that's when the winner is going to be announced, right? So you're not going to be contacted by email. Nobody's going to WhatsApp you. Nobody's going to private message you. Make sure you check back on ceflebon.com on the date that's mentioned in the article, so you know that if your username got chosen, if you got selected as the winner, you can claim your spoils, right? La Playa. Let me read the notes for this fragrance. Before I do that, this is classified as a fruity and sweet perfume, and the description of this reads, a relaxing beach day, bright sun, creamy skin, and hot sand under your feet. Captured in a fruity and sweet perfume with notes of coconut milk, pistachio, and vanilla. Now, just those three, coconut, pistachio, vanilla, it sounds so enticing. It sounds so welcoming. And it says fruity and sweet, but is this going to be a gourmand necessarily? In the top, we have Italian bergamot, orange blossom, and Madagascan ylang-ylang. In the mid, we have Indian cardamom, which is quite interesting, not what I would have expected from a beach-themed fragrance. Coconut milk and pistachio. And then in the dry down, we have vanilla, Venezuelan tonka bean, and musk. So let me go ahead and smell this one again. And the first thing that you're going to get, I mean, this is miles ahead of any other ingredient that you'll smell in here. And of course, I have enough experience with this particular note to tell you there's a lot of it in here. You're going to get a lot of coconut. This is a very coconut-forward fragrance. The coconut really predominates this composition. And of course, if you're a fan of coconut, you're going to love this one. I'm going to be honest with you. Even going back to the description, it says bright sun, creamy skin. I thought it was going to have like a Bronze Goddess by Estee Lauder type of a vibe. I thought that perhaps it was going to smell similar to one of those suntan lotion or sunscreen types of scents. Maybe even something like the brand new Sol de Janeiro. I think it's called Cheirosa 39. That's a very coconut heavy fragrance. And of course, this is something that's been done so many times, right? Seven Virtues has a fragrance with coconut in it. I forget the name of it, but I've done a video on that one as well. So that concept has been done ad nauseum. What I really like is that this fragrance takes it in a slightly different direction. Yes, it still has a little bit of that suntan lotion vibe, I'm not gonna lie. And I'm not gonna, refuse to admit it, yeah, it does have a little bit of that suntan lotion vibe. But you're also going to get a touch of that cardamom spice, which I think is so interesting. And it's done in a very minute fashion. It doesn't overtake the composition in any way. And despite the classification being fruity and sweet, this is far from being a gourmand. Yes, it has the Venezuelan tonka bean. Yes, it has the vanilla. And it potentially has a few other sweet and edible ingredients like coconut milk and pistachio, both of which are quite edible in a literal sense. But this is not a gourmand, right? As I smell this one, it does give me very tropical vibes. There's also a nice bit of freshness that is conveyed in this fragrance, which is going to be quite ephemeral, right? So you're not going to get those citrus elements lasting well beyond, the 20, 30-minute mark. But you do get the bergamot, the orange blossom, and that ylang-ylang, which kind of puts it in that floral direction. And I think the ylang-ylang significantly contributes to that tropical vibe that is established in this fragrance. At the end of the day, this is a phenomenal fragrance for the summer months if you're looking for something that is highly evocative of the summer. There are certain fragrances, certain DNA, certain olfactive profiles, if you will, that will always remind people of the summertime. We're talking about the aquatics, we're talking about the citrus, we're talking about the oceanic fragrances, the ozonic fragrances, so on and so forth. But unquestionably, coconut and citrus are two ingredients, if you will, that will always put somebody in the mindset of a summer perfume. And this fragrance is absolutely no exception. As a matter of fact, this kind of rests at the zenith, the apex, or the pinnacle of those types of fragrances. So for that reason, I am a big fan of La Playa. Although I will admit, I personally don't wear these types of fragrances too often because I would much prefer, just as far as it caters to my personal taste, I would prefer to wear something that's a bit more heavy-handed on the citrus. However, if you love coconut scents, this is in a league of its own. And so I think La Playa is a beautiful fragrance, evocative of the summer months, evocative of a time well spent at the beach. It doesn't have the tropical vibe that some other more fruity fragrances have, whether they be passion fruit heavy or pineapple heavy, or even like coconut flesh, or maybe with a hint of rum or booze in it, or whatever the case may be. There are other fragrances that tend to lean in a more tropical direction, as it were. But this fragrance with the coconut milk, the pistachio, a hint of cardamom spice, the tonka bean and vanilla in the dry down, and also the preponderance of the ylang-ylang really creates this tropical, summertime, fun and fresh vibe that I think can be enjoyed well into the autumn as well. I am going to be honest with you. It's going to be highly evocative of the summer. That's it. Not the spring, not the fall, not the winter. But this is one of those fragrances that you wear in the fall if you want to prolong your summer a little bit more. If you want to be reminded of the summer for just another month or two before you fully switch out to your spices and your balsams and your booze and whatever, I think it's a beautiful fragrance if this is your style, if these are the types of fragrances that you're into. It's so fun, it's so lighthearted, it's so relaxing, and I think this is what it's meant to convey, a sense of relaxation, and La Playa by Carner Barcelona really does do that in a really well done manner. So first up, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, I'll be honest with you, it's quite unique. Comparing it to other coconut-based fragrances or even other quote-unquote suntan scents, this one stands on its own 2 feet. I love the uniqueness that is conveyed here. Of course, it can be lumped with some of those other fragrances. So this is a concept that has been done before, but I love some of the quirks and idiosyncrasies that are embedded within this compositional DNA. The cardamom and the tonka bean, in addition to the vanilla and the dry down. I think it's a really nice touch. Longevity on this one was 7 hours on my skin. Projection at an arm's length for the first hour of application. In terms of the versatility, perfectly unisex, ideal for the summertime. This is more of a casual rather than a formal fragrance. And I think this will cater to anybody of any age, I think in terms of the presentation, I love the name, I love the bottle, I love the color. I know they have other fragrances like Supermoon that's housed in an all red bottle. They have the all yellow bottle. So, you know, I own so many different Carner Barcelona fragrances in many different styles and many different presentations. And one thing I can say about this one is I think it's in alignment with the concept and the theme of the fragrance. And as far as the overall smell is concerned, my final verdict is that it smells wonderful. It's a very coconut forward fragrance without being too sweet, just a touch of spice and the ylang-ylang creating a bit of a tropical vibe with some ephemeral freshness, giving you 20 to 30 minutes of refreshment in the opening of the fragrance. So there you have it, folks. Thank you so much for watching. That was my review of the brand new La Playa by Carner Barcelona. Wonderful summertime fresh fragrance, and we are in the, I don't know when I'm going to publish this video, but currently we are in the second week of August, so there's still time. What is the first day of winter? Third week of September? We have plenty of time. Enjoy it, especially if you live in a warmer climate. You'll get really good use out of this one. Look, participate in the giveaway. First link down below in the description box. Just leave a thoughtful comment on the article on Seth Laban's site. Thank you again so much for joining me today. I really hope you took something of value from today's review. And of course, if you did, I would really appreciate it if you would consider supporting the channel by clicking subscribe, hitting the bell, and of course, giving this video a thumbs up for the algorithm. It helps tremendously. Thanks again for watching. I love you all, and we'll see you tomorrow with a new episode.